And we're live. Welcome to Angie's Angles. We got Pete O'Shea co-hosting again.
Hey, everybody.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Angie's Angles. It is February the 12th in the year of my Lord, 2026. I got the year right this time, Pete. So I got a good buddy, Eric Floyd, who was kind enough to send me some baseball cards, New York Mets predominantly. And
Oh, wow. Cool.
I promised we'd do a live opening on the show, kill a couple of minutes. And I just opened up the first pack. He asked me to do so. And I'm going through them real quick. And we got Danny Heap. We got a Dave Kingman card, one of my favorite Mets of all time.
Oh, I loved him.
Hey, Harold, what's going on? We got
I had
Terry.
a Dave Kingman bat. I had a Dave Kingman bat back in the day.
At least you didn't have a dead rat from Dave Kingman.
This is true.
We got Jeremy Burnitz, a couple of cards. We got Eric Hillman, Pete Shurick, DJ Dozier, Chris Donalds. Remember Chris Donalds?
Sure.
Tim Bova and Kevin Baez, to name a few. Let's open up this other pack he asked me to open up.
That's like going down memory lane right there.
Yeah, you're not kidding. It was the who's who of who could have been.
Mm-hmm. Danny Heap, I used to like him. I used to like Danny Heap too.
I like Danny Heap a lot, actually. So
yeah, he was a good ball player.
Oh wow, the second pack. Oh my God, the second pack. Look at this, right out of the chute. Jerry Koosman.
Wow.
This is a 1973 Jerry Koosman baby.
Oh, from the NL championship season.
Not too shabby right there. Let's see who
he was so good that season.
Oh, look at this. We got a Luis Torrens card, ex-Skanky.
All right.
Luis Torrens, I think, is going to give us a phenomenal year as a backup.
He's an excellent backup catcher. He's perfect for the job.
Lucas Duda, who can't throw a baseball to the home plate. Remember the Kansas City game?
Mm-hmm.
This guy, I like this guy, Luis Angel Acuna, now up with the White Sox.
Yeah,
about the White Sox. Did you hear what the GM of the White Sox?
Yeah, kept calling him a switch hitter when he ain't.
Four times.
Yeah.
I mean, you just traded away Louis Robert, and you're saying, "Oh, we're so excited to have our switch hitter on the team." Oh my God, that's a little scary.
How much you want to bet they make him a switch hitter now, just so he doesn't look like an idiot?
We got a Darryl Strawberry card.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes, Juan Soto. Darryl with that swing. I know the green screen is kind of messing me up. So
that was some swing he had.
And I told you in the past, me and Darryl were a little tight. I wouldn't say a lot tight, but we were a little tight. He'd leave me tickets at Will Call. I cooked him dinner at Houlihan's at Roosevelt Field. Eric Floyd, this was very nice of you. This was the first time that I opened up. Hi, Eric. Yes, I'm looking at the Bowman box right now, Eric. And right off the bat, I got a Jerry Koosman. It was very nice. Darryl Strawberry, Juan Soto, to name a few. Let me pull up a couple more cards. Go deep here. Look at this, Don Clendenin, baby.
Wow, that's going back to the
John
days.
Matlack.
Huh? John Matlack.
Yogi Berra.
Wow, is that as a player or as a manager?
As a manager.
Or a coach? As manager.
George Thomas Siva.
Ooh.
Eric, wow, you're blowing me away. Gil Hodges, baby.
That's the best pack so far.
Yeah, you're not kidding. This is going right into my collection. Eric, that was so nice of you. Very generous. I appreciate you.
Put those right into one of those. You got to put those right into one of those protective sleeves. Yeah, you had some. Yeah. That last pack was some dynamite ones right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a bunch of sleeves that I can put these in.
Yeah. All right, very cool. That was awesome. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, buddy.
Let me give a couple shout outs. We got we said Harold Sanderson, we got Harold Atkins, Eric
What's up,
Floyd, thank
fellas?
you. Eric Schuster, what's going on? Mark Brooks, my brother from another. Yeah.
Mark, what's happening, pal?
I don't have a Honus Wagner card, Mark Brooks. If you come across one, send it my way. 215
Right.
Rockland Avenue. That's very funny. Eric, that was fantastic. I'm gonna
Very
go.
cool.
I'm gonna catalog them and talk about it next week also, Eric. So thank you.
Very
So Pete,
cool.
here we are again. Happy
All right.
opening day, everybody. Not opening day. Happy spring training. I'm jumping the gun a little bit, Pete.
Yeah, well, because you always get so excited about it, and I love that about you. But now that spring training is here, I need some answers from the Mets expert, and that's you, buddy. So once again, I've got a bunch of stuff I want to fire at you like you're on the hot seat. How you feel about that?
I'm ready as always. And
Okay.
you always dig in and throw out some really good quality questions.
Well, I do my research. I spend at least 11 seconds on this before the show starts. Okay. All right. First things first, we were talking about this off air, and it's now time to jump in. Are the Mets finished shopping? Spring training has begun, but there are some interesting developments. There are still some interesting players out there. A new development that just came out beforehand, we talked about it off line. Do the Mets sign Castellanos? And who else might you still want to look at? And what else do you still think they need? Let's start there.
So here's my thing, right? If you take Castellanos, who worked his way out of favor in Philly, and they're on the hook for $20 million. So if we sign Castellanos, it's going to cost the New York Metropolitans $780,000. That's mere pittance in today's
that's minimum. That's nothing.
Payroll. That's right, minimum league payment.
That's tip money.
He batted 250, 17 home runs, 72 RBIs. Now, if we bat him sixth in our lineup, the guy still has pop. Now maybe he's got a bug up his butt to prove the Phillies, stood on principle, I suppose, if you will.
Sure.
He's not a great defensive outfielder, but he's got an arm and a half, Pete. He certainly has.
He does, but he's very slow though, and he gets bad angles. But he definitely has a cannon. There's no doubt about that. So then, how do you use him? Kind of a part-time outfielder, part-time DH? Is that how you would use him?
Well, it all depends on how the spring works out. And programming note, as you all know, I'm making my birthday trip to go see Brett Milletta, and we're going to celebrate our birthdays together. He turned 60, I turned 61. And March 2nd is our birthday. We share the same birthday, and he's my buddy that has got me all hooked up on this podcast. Him and his team were responsible for my logo, the Angie's Angles logo. So strikeouts, smoke rings, and spiritual advice. So, it was very nice of him to do that. Harold Sanderson, you like Castellanos in Chicago, but that's been a few years though. But motivation spurs results, right?
He's going to be mad at the Phillies. He's mad already. Supposedly he cussed out Kapler. That's how this all started last year.
It was Rob Thompson, Pete. Kapler got
Thompson.
fired.
That's right. Yeah.
So what happened was I read up on the story. They pulled him out of a game in Miami.
Yeah.
It was a close game. And he had family and friends in the stands, and he felt embarrassed by it. So he went into the locker room, came back out to the bench with a beer. Now we all know that's a no-no in MLB. You can't drink on the bench, nor can you smoke. But don't tell Jimmy Leland or Keith Hernandez that, right, Pete?
Right.
I mean, how many cameos do we have? Jimmy Leland taking a toke off the old cigarette in the dugout.
Those Marlboro Reds.
Yeah. So he didn't drink it. He said somebody wiser than him took it out of his hand before he could take a swig. But apparently Rob Thompson was enforcing certain rules and not enforcing other rules, and he was making a statement, according to one Nick Castellanos, coming to you live on Angie's Angles exclusive updates.
Exclusive insights.
So I'm a little torn because I've been a Nick Castellanos fan, especially in fantasy baseball. The guy has pop.
Okay.
Guy has
Yeah,
pop.
he does.
You
Last
know,
year, those numbers were a down year, right? Those were a down
yeah,
year.
correct. All right.
Yeah.
Now, a lot was made of our locker room being a mess,
Right.
whether that's true or not. Pete, good friend of mine, my best friend actually, Alan Lands, says there's always three sides to every story: your side, my side, and the truth. Right.
True
So
that.
until that's all figured out, we just have to go with what we're told. Now, for $780,000, I bring him into spring training and see what you got.
Why
And
not?
and you have the option of cutting him. If Benj explodes and shows that he's the real deal, and maybe that puts a little less pressure on Benj to produce. Maybe that allows him to be himself and not have to
Maybe that
make.
also maybe that also allows you to manipulate his service time and not bring him up until June, and you get Ben for an extra season of arbitration that way.
Right, of controlled controlled payroll.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
problem
So
is
they
the problem is Viento's out of options. So
right,
so
right.
if you bring in Castellanos, you can now move Vientos and maybe like you mentioned off air, Christian Scott to Boston for Duran.
Wow, that would be some great opportunity right there. I think both sides would be happy with that trade. And then look at your outfield: Soto, Roberts, Durant. Wow, that's a good outfield at that point, man. That's a
I,
trade I would do in 10 seconds flat.
I think you move Soto back to right and put Duran in left, in my humble opinion.
Absolutely, at that point, I agree
Right.
100%. I agree 100%. All right,
So
I agree with you on that. Let me ask you this question: is Scrubbles off the table now until the trade deadline?
yeah,
Is that a you think for
there's
sure?
nobody. There's no now, and I said this last week, Pete. I don't think Scooble's
Mhm.
going anywhere. I think the
Okay,
Tigers are all in. I think signing Framber Valdez to a 3-year deal for the 40-something million dollars per year, highest paid lefty pitcher in the history of baseball. I think they're making a statement. I think they said we're committed. I think they're going to pony up the money for Scooble. Um, and it's up to Scooble to perform. He's back-to-back Cy Young Award winner, so but he's also older, right? And he's
and
also
two Jimmy John surgeries, two of them
right,
already.
correct. And uh, you know, he got paid for what he produced, so now he has to continue producing if he wants that long-term contract. But I do think, and Scooble loves Detroit. Big fan of
Yeah,
Detroit. Big fan of the
he
team.
said
Big fan.
he says he's very happy there. Yeah.
So
All right.
what do you do? I mean, listen, you're going to have a lot of suitors come midseason at the trading deadline. You're going to have a lot
Yeah.
of players, especially with this expansion nonsense, which I am not a fan of. And I just want to identify that the Milwaukee Brewers, um, they had to play that playoff game, even though they had a great record and they won their division. So, I find it very difficult to understand that you play the whole season and yet you still have to play the first round of playoffs as a
The
first pick.
division leaders, exactly. The division leaders shouldn't be part of the wild card series at all. That's totally unfair. And it's happened to a couple of teams over the last few years where you have a really good season, you get one hiccup at the end and it's all over. That's totally not fair. All right, so let's assume they don't make any more moves right now.
Okay. Okay.
What is your Mets lineup for opening day? What is your 1 through 9? What is your final lineup? Who's playing where and in what spot in the lineup do you have for this 2026 New York Metropolitans?
So, Lindor, why
Let's
hitting
assume he's
this?
back. Let's assume he's
Oh, you're
back
going to
also.
assume he's back?
Yeah, I'm assuming he's back. I did some research on that Hammett bone. Several guys, Holiday, Carroll, all getting that surgery. 4 to 6 weeks tops. It's an easy recovery. He'll be back, no problem. So assume he's there for opening day. What's your lineup?
All right, I'm writing it down so I have it for
Oh, for the
integrity.
comparison. Yeah, I'm gonna
Right.
write it down too. Okay, go ahead.
I just got to figure something out real quick.
Hmm.
All right, I got it, Pete. So this is my
Okay.
lineup. This is my
What
lineup
do you
going
got?
into our season. I got
Okay.
I got Louis Robert batting leadoff. It has to
Okay.
be. He's 28 years old. He's got legs. I think the renewed atmosphere, location, coming to a hyped up, jacked up New York Met team is going to inspire him, if you will, for lack of a better word. I got Lindor
I also
batting
think
second. Good.
let me make another point. It'll also boost his confidence if you tell him he's the leadoff hitter this year, and you put him in front of all these guys as well. He's going to get good pitches to hit. So that could work out for Roberts in 3 or 4 different ways.
I got Lindor batting second.
Okay.
I got Bo batting third. Soto must bat fourth.
Okay.
I got Polanco fifth. Okay, so Lindor, we got a shortstop. Bo at third. Soto, I'm going to put Soto back in right field because Polanco is going to play left. I got Batty batting six, and I got to find a spot for him real quick. Oh, so Batty's going to be
First base or DH.
Batty will be DH. Vientos will play first. Alvarez is your catcher, and Simeon's your second baseman. Now, if Simeon's legs are really as bad as they claim, you can make Semien your DH and put Batty at second. Batty's a great second baseman.
All right, wait a second. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're still short one. So you
No,
got
nine.
Roberts, Lindor.
I got Robert Lindor, Bo,
Yeah.
Soto, Polanco,
Soto.
Batty, Vientos, Alvarez, Semien. That gives us nine.
Oh, you got Vientos in there too. Okay.
Yeah, Vientos at first base.
Okay.
Well,
Vientos,
that's a long
Alvarez.
lineup, Pete.
That is a long lineup. That isn't exactly the lineup I would have gone with, but it's close.
But I want to hear yours.
I would do everything the same, except I would. Well, again, you're not making that trade, so without the trade, I guess mine's equal as yours too. I would. Yeah, it's pretty much has to be the same. The only way it changes is if you get the redundancy of Beatty and Vientos is bugging me. That's what's happening right here. As I look at this, it bugs me. So, but that's the way it is. So, okay, that's our lineup. Okay, all right. So that's your lineup for the year. What's your rotation?
Harold Sanderson says that's a dangerous lineup, and I agree. And I was just before we go to the rotation, Pete.
Okay, yeah, finish it off. Go ahead.
Louis Robert, 30 home runs. Lindor, 30. Let's call Bo 25. Let's call Soto 40. Let's give Polanco 25. Let's give Beatty and Vientos 20. Let's give Alvarez 20. And we got 15 homers for Semien.
Dang, that is a long lineup. All right.
I mean, that's as long as the day is. I mean, that's a long lineup.
And you've got some lefties, you got righties, you got speed here, you got one, two, you got several guys here that are known for stealing bases. Guys who, again, if either Vientos or Beatty really ever becomes themselves and gets 500 at bats, who knows? I'm not ready to count out Simeon either. I think he could still be at 20 homers. And Alvarez is a guy who someday can hit 30. Okay, this lineup is deep, man. It really is, no doubt about it. Is it deeper than last year's team for sure, right?
No, without a doubt. I mean, without a doubt, you got some. You got a bona fide 300 hitter in Bo. Soto could raise his average. He could hit 290, Pete.
He could easily hit 290. He could drive in 125 runs if he's batting cleanup in this lineup also.
Polanco's a high average contact guy, and he's a switch hitter.
Now, the only thing I wonder with him is really left field. Does he have any experience out there? Maybe you put Beatty out in left field. You put him at first base, and then Vientos at DH.
That could work too. I just don't know what Beatty's ability at first
Beatty's
is.
well, no. You put Polanco at first, Beatty in
Polanco
left.
left. Okay, I could do that, but
Beatty's done some
Polanco
left
played
field in
one
the
game.
minors,
Yeah,
and Vientos at DH.
Polanco played one game at first base.
Yeah, but he's never played the outfield ever. He's played the infield at least some, right? I mean, he
Yeah.
knows the infield at least, you know?
You know, my feeling, Pete, with baseball players, unless you're a catcher, you should be able, and I'll give you even first base. Any ball player should be able to play the outfield. Now, I'm not diminishing the outfielders and their abilities,
Right.
but you should be able to catch a fly ball, Pete, if you're a baseball player.
Well, there's no doubt about that, but we've seen even the guys that play every day that are not good outfielders. We talked about this before on air. Soto is not ever going to be confused with a good outfielder. We've seen other guys before him, us that were just bad at getting the angles, bad at timing the when to move.
Right.
But the basics of it, even the pitchers do it when they're shagging fly balls. So you should be able to do it at least for a short term if necessary while a team needs you, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well, you asked
absolutely.
me about the rotation. I got my top
Yeah,
four.
that's next. Yeah,
I got
there's
my
my
top
rotation. What do you
four
got?
because I struggle with everybody else.
Okay.
And they're talking about Tobias Myers even stretching out to become a starter. So I mean, you can never have enough starters. But why are we reinventing the wheel? That guy was a lights out setup guy, a reliever. We
Well, you
already
can.
transitioned Clay Holmes into the starter role.
Yep.
And
Yep.
while that experiment didn't implode, he kind of struggled down the stretch.
And you got to wonder if that load of innings he put on last year will have any effect on him this year. So that could be part of your thinking. So let's see what you got. Who is your rotation pieces
Okay,
for sure that you like?
of course, our starter is Freddie Peralta, and Freddie I trust. And I said last week I see him at 21 to 23 wins if this offense produces.
Okay.
I've got McLean second.
Okay.
I got Clay Holmes third.
Okay.
I got Peterson fourth.
Peterson fourth.
And the Mets have
Okay.
come out and said that Tong's going to start the season in the minors. Now,
Okay.
not
So
really
Tong's
sure.
gonna.
Not really
Okay.
sure why, because I like that kid a lot.
Yeah, me too.
He's one of the few guys that I know that still fits into his communion outfit. You know what I mean?
And he hasn't even shaved yet, that kid.
Yeah. And we can't forget about Kodai Senga. And you and I have had this conversation. I'm not going to try to throw the Japanese honor family into this, but I am.
I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to do it.
But I'm going to do it because I think he's a very proud cultural guy, right? Okay, because that's how the Japanese are raised to be honorable, to be self-sufficient. So I think Kodai Senga has a lot to prove, not only to himself but to the baseball community.
Yeah,
and before he got hurt, he was top 3 pitcher in the major leagues.
He has a lot to prove, though. He even said that the other day. He said, "I don't have to prove anything as a pitcher. I just keep getting hurt. I have to prove I can stay healthy."
So he's your number 5 guy.
Okay.
Now you got Manea. So you got to find out. You're stuck with him for 2 more years. So you got to find out what he's capable of doing. So that'll be nice. You'll have 2 lefties and 3 righties in that rotation. There's
All right.
nothing
A
wrong
couple
with
of
that.
questions. Couple of questions. Do you consider what I just a moment ago? Again, we talked about Holmes and how much he's put on that arm. And again, you have two lefty setups in Rayleigh and Minter, but you only have one righty setup guy in Weaver. What if you move Holmes to be the second righty setup and Mania becomes the fifth starter? Everybody else moves up. What do you think
Yeah,
of that?
but I think the Mets have put into Holmes's head that, hey, you're a starter, you can get this done. And again, what does that do to his psyche if he's removed from the rotation, Pete? Right?
I do understand that part, but he threw 170 innings last year, which was three times more than he pitched in the 3 years previous, is more. And I'm worried about he's going to blow out his arm. That's what I'm worried about.
This is why we play the games in spring training. This is why I'm very adamant against the WBC, because the
Yes,
WBC, the baseball teams, the managers, the general managers have no say on how our guys are using the WBC. They have no input whatsoever. So who's to say that they don't abuse somebody, pitching them too long, pitching them too often, too much, because everybody's on the dime to win the game and win the championship.
exactly. So they're going too hard, too early, and you're looking at injuries that way. We've seen it every WBC. Somebody's gotten radically hurt. So I'm very much against it as well.
So
All right.
if you stretch out Tobias Myers, uh, if Holmes stays in the rotation, and there's a guy sitting out there, and Kevin Elliott's a big fan, so I'll just give Kevin Elliott uh, a little plug. Griffin Canning still is available.
That's right. He is. He is. But let's go back to a minute ago. Tong, and Scott. What they both are AAA? Is that how this works? I can't see that Tong has anything more to prove. I think he's just as good as is at least as good as Mania. And I know you can't make that difference because Mania makes 25 million. But really, Tong's going to go back. Talking about psyche problems. That guy's wind up he'll have his rattle back in his mouth. The poor kid.
That's great. I don't think Tong going to the minors is going to mess him up.
Okay.
I think Tong even would probably welcome that at least for a month, and then we see how it goes. Now, Pete, let's not forget we could go with a 6-man rotation.
You really think we can, especially in
I,
April when the games are spread out a little?
I think that's the way Major League Baseball is being set up, Pete.
Really?
You don't have the Nolan Ryans, the Bob Gibsons, the Tom Seavers, the Randy Johnsons. You don't have these guys anymore. These guys are coddled. They're protected, and Major League Baseball has come full circle where the Greg Maddoxes and his 89 to 90 mile per hour fastball are a thing of the past, where baseball wants flamethrowers. So these guys are jacking up every pitch. Did you see Carlos Quintana sign with the Rockies?
I did see that, and he had to give back his Social Security to do that.
I mean, he had a great season for the Brewers last year.
No, he can still pitch. Now, if they did that, a 6-man rotation means 27 starts for each pitcher. That should be enough? That should be okay.
And then you get your swing guys that our bullpen has been refortified.
Well, so again, Tobias becomes the long man.
Tobias becomes the long man, and you could even if you're going to carry the 13 pitchers, you can maybe even throw a Scott as a middle guy, as a gap pitcher.
Why not? McGill did it pretty well for us for a little while when he had the chance. Why not? So that's a really strong pitching staff, really good bullpen, and a really good lineup. So we said last week that in your power rankings, the Mets were number one, Dodgers were number two. So let's go lineup to lineup, Mets and Dodgers. I want you to tell me who's got the stronger at each of the 9 spots, okay? You're going to say Mets or Dodgers when I say the comparison names, okay?
Okay, so I just wanted Harold Atkins on the big screen saying that it would take someone like Judge or Otanya to get a significant injury to consider changing WBC. Harold Atkins, I don't disagree with that comment, but I think the bean counters in the WBC and Major League Baseball, they're moving forward with this. No matter, I mean, Babe Ruth could come out of the grave and get turf toe, and they'd still have it in another 4 years. Um, I don't think they care. I don't think the powers that be care. They're trying to take this international. They're trying to impose the whole national pride nonsense, which again I call absolute bullcrap on Pete.
Yeah,
Because
me too.
you put these games in November, half these guys are on some white sandy beach saying, "Oh, not this year, fellas. I got a bum toe."
I agree. I agree. But I like his point on it, Harold, that again, if a big star does do it, it will change the conversation at least. Maybe it doesn't stop it, but it'll get everybody talking about how maybe it needs to be changed to November.
So the WBC is akin to once the first pitch is thrown, the umpires control the game. Okay, in terms of weather, in terms of rules, regulations. So until the games are played in WBC, the general managers and the hierarchy of each team says yay or nay to the player being allowed to play.
Right,
They could say no. They could say not my guy. Now,
right.
they'll take a lot of press for that. They'll take a lot of negative press. But in the words of P.T. Barnum, there's no such thing as bad press. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. All press is good press. That's
Yeah.
right. All right, so let's get this going here now. So now for the Mets, we'll do the top three. We'll do three in bulks of three. So for the Mets, their 1, 2, 3, according to you, is going to be Roberts, Lindor, and Bichette. The Dodgers expected 1, 2, 3 is going to be Otani, Betts, and Tucker. Compare and contrast.
So I give Otani the obviously the marquee value. But Betts and Tucker, and Harold Sanderson will tell us about Tucker. You want to talk about clubhouses? Not one single Chicago Cub guy was sorry to see Tucker go. Okay, they said he was self-absorbed, didn't put in enough work, in their opinion. So, is Tucker going to L.A. and get engulfed in Hollywood, or is Tucker going to revert to his ways that he was in Houston?
Good
So,
question.
yeah, so I don't put any um I don't think Tucker was a $400 million player at all. Zero chance he was, but he got it. And only the Dodgers could do that. So, and don't get me wrong, the Mets were also in play for Tucker. So I can't give the Mets a pass. Um, I like to think that Stearns just drove up the price. So the Dodgers, one day in the near future will go bankrupt because all their payments are coming due. And Betts has shown us flashes of brilliance, but I think better days are behind Betts. So I give the Mets
Okay,
2/3 of that top three.
okay, they give the Mets 2/3 of that top three. I'll agree with that. All right, your 4, 5, and 6 for the Mets this year would be Soto, Polanco, and Beatty. And for the Dodgers, the equal of that would be Freeman, catcher Will Smith, and third baseman Max Muncy. Compare and contrast.
So is this the year that Freddie Freeman finally finds father time?
I
Okay.
don't know.
He's got the foot problem that he nursed all year last year. Um, Will Smith is a phenomenal offensive catcher, no doubt, and they signed him long term as they should have. Um, and Max Muncy, so we're talking about Soto, Polanco, and Batty.
Yeah.
Pete, I'm going to give the Mets 2/3 of that as well.
Okay.
I have to. I
Okay.
have to. It screams it. I mean, Soto. Soto is our Otani, not on the same level as
Right.
Otani, but 1 and 1A. We got Polanco, who I think this kid's going to have a phenomenal season. Did you see how jacked he was in the
Yeah.
videos of them reporting
Yeah.
I mean, that kid was jacked.
You think Beatty has a better year than Muncy?
I do, because let's not forget last year's third base for the New York Mets between Vientos and Beatty, 30 home runs at third base, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm
All
not
right.
doubting him. It's
Right.
gonna be interesting. Muncy just got re-signed for 10 million for this year with an option for next. He is coming up as one of the all-time leaders on some of the Dodgers playoff home run and RBI records. All right, the bottom three for you in the Mets is Vientos, Alvarez, and Marcus Semien for the Mets.
Yes.
And for the Dodgers, it'll be Hernandez to Theoris Hernandez,
Yeah.
Andy
Yeah.
Pages, their center fielder, and then Edmund is going to bat ninth for them.
Now, listen, Edmund is a ball player. He's a baseball player. Tommy Edmund.
Yeah,
And
I
for
like
sure,
him. Yeah,
yeah. So repeat the Dodgers one more time to me.
yeah. It's Hernandez, the big right fielder,
All right.
Toscar Hernandez, Andy Pages, their center fielder. It was all defense, and then Edmund batting ninth. And for the Mets again, you have Vientos, Alvarez, and Marcus Semien.
I'm not sure if I'm allowing my heart to get in the way, Pete. I try not to, and my
Okay.
fandom, but I got to give the Mets 2/3 on there too, buddy.
Wow. Okay. Wow. 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 So all total, you gave the Mets 6 out of the 9
Yep,
positions. You gave the Mets
absolutely,
the advantage. So
absolutely.
that's a significant advantage going into the regular season. It's the length of the lineup that gives us this because the star power seems to be even. Is it the length that's the differential?
Yeah, I think it's the let's call it potential, right? Let's call
Okay.
it potential. A lot of ifs. Ifs is a big word for 2 letters. Okay.
Yeah.
If our guys stay healthy, if Bo's a 300 hitter, if Polanco's a 280 to 290 hitter, if Soto's a 280 hitter, if Lindor, with the protection of Bo behind him, increases to 290. I mean, and Louis Roberts is 3 years removed from 38 home runs, Pete, and he's only 28 years old.
And was on a bad team. We talked about this last week. When you're on a bad team, you have a lot of bad habits. You swing at bad pitches. You try to do too much. You overthink things too much. You're trying to get out of a rut all the time. He's now going to be in a winning culture. That's going to change everything for him.
I absolutely agree with that, and that's on the same side that I'm talking about Kodai Senga.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kodai Senga, what he was our star last year. Now he's not our star pitcher anymore. He
No,
dropped
you
to
got him as
what?
our fifth starter.
Right. So that takes a lot of pressure. And if we're throwing Kodai Senga against any other team's fifth starter, we win 9 out of 10 games. On paper, we should. That should happen 100% of the time.
Well, but if you got to send him to the bullpen, don't let him go down there without checking to make sure he doesn't have his Harry Carry knife with him. We don't want.
Yeah.
I've let down the team. No,
That's,
just kidding.
that's a little rough there, brother.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, now you want to try another team? You want to
Sure.
try and compare the Mets to another team?
Sure.
What team would you like to compare them to? I wrote out the Phillies or the Yankees. Which team would you like to compare
Let's
them
go
to?
to the Stankies.
All right, let's compare them to the Stankies. All right, so the current possible Yankee lineup. You know our Mets top three again. I'll give it to you. You have Roberts, Lindor, and Bichette. For the Yankees, we're looking at Grissom, Judge, and Bellinger. 1, 2, 3.
I think Chisholm falls on his face this year.
I'm not talking about Chisholm. I'm putting him down lower. Grissom. They had to
Oh,
re-sign him.
oh,
He
oh,
took the
oh, oh, he's
he
okay.
the center
Grissom.
fielder, Trent
Right,
Grissom.
Grissom. Right. Oh
So it's
boy.
Grissom, Judge,
Yeah.
Bellinger against Roberts, Lindor, Bichette.
2 out of 3 for the Mets.
2 out of 3 for the Mets. Only Judge is the only one you give the odds to
Yep.
for the Yankees.
Harold, have a good night, brother. Thanks for signing on, pal.
Love you, buddy. All right. Wow, that's pretty cool. 2 out of 3 to the Mets. All right. Judge beat Lindor. Okay, very cool. All right. For the Mets, 4, 5, and 6. Again, you had Soto, Polanco, and Beatty. For the Yankees, their 4, 5, and 6 is expected to be Giancarlo Stanton, Ben Rice at first base, and then Chaz Chisholm, the guy you mentioned earlier.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. So who's the
Mets.
only one? The only Yankee that
You gotta still tip your hat to Stanton.
he's going up against Soto head to head.
Well, okay, sure. So I didn't do it in that order, right? I did the
Okay.
three, right? But I think, see, this is hard. So we got Stanton, Chisholm, and who else?
Ben Rice, who had 26 home runs for them last year in part-time duty. I don't think he's going to get the full-time first base job because they also re-signed Goldschmidt.
Yeah, I still stick with 2 out of 3.
Okay, so all right, and now for the final third of the lineup, again for the Mets, you're going Vientos, Alvarez, and Marcus Semien, and for the Yankees, we're going to go with catcher Austin Wells, third baseman Ryan McMahon, and right now Volpe is hurt, so it will be Caballero at shortstop on opening day.
We take 3 out of 3.
Wow, he's taken 3 out of 3 on that one. I think you're right about that. The only guy there that's even a possibility is Wells. He had 20 home runs last year, but he strikes out a lot and he had a bad batting average and on base. Caballero is interesting. Horrible batting average, but in a part-time duties with Tampa Bay, he stole 48 bases.
Listen, speed is part of this game now, especially with the larger bases and the two disengagements and the time clock.
Yeah.
Um, the speed will play into this. Now, look at our speed. I mean, you got Soto that stole how many last year? 38 bases.
44, yeah, 38.
You know, I don't like that walking lead. I think teams are going to be focused on that. I think they're going to pick them off a lot more than not. And I'd be careful with that walking half running lead in the windup.
I agree 100%. Messes everything up. So, by the way, you gave the Mets 7 out of 9 over the Yankees, over the
I,
Yankees.
listen, if you would throw me last year's lineup, I think we'd be hard pressed to find 4 guys.
Wow. Wow. What a significant difference. What a great point right there, Ange.
Right, I do because I was not a Nimmo fan. We had McNeil in that lineup at times. Again, McNeil was a very serviceable defender. You could put him anywhere, and he wouldn't make you look horrible. But there too lied in the problem. Lindor went at McNeil last year because he felt McNeil didn't make a complete effort to go get a ball. And
He also kept telling him to change his positioning, and McNeil kept telling him to shut up.
right, so there was a lot of angst in that clubhouse. But Pete, you've been in the corporate world. I'm in the corporate world. You don't always get along with your office mates, but at the end of the day, the job gets done.
Still got to trust him even when you don't like him.
Right. So I
And
don't
that's
know what.
hard to do.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
All right, so I'm just going to throw a couple other teams at you. Tell me which lineups. I'm just going to throw a few names. There's other teams that have good lineups. Just tell me the Mets are better or worse. The Cubs, they're deep this year.
we're 60-40 Mets.
60-40 Mets. All right. How about the Padres?
Which Machado you getting, Pete? You
That's a good
getting
question. He's
the
starting to slow
pompous,
down.
arrogant, right? The pompous, arrogant Machado. Can Tatis continue his claim to fame? Who else they got of note? Read me their lineup.
I didn't put all their lineup down
Oh,
because I just
okay.
did the top ones. But you got Tatis, you got
Machado.
Machado,
You got Merrill in
Merrill, you
center
got
field.
Jack Chenwith.
You know,
So
oh yeah, you got Cronenworth. Is he on the
yeah,
Padres?
yeah, yep, he sure is.
Right. Yeah,
So
I go 60-40 Mets.
all right, next one lineups I like. Toronto has a pretty good lineup.
Well, Toronto's got a great lineup, but they lost Polanco and Bichette, my friend.
Yeah, they sure did. So and they didn't replace him either. They didn't replace
Right.
either guy. Okay. How about the Giants? They made when they picked up Luis Arias, they now have a pretty long lineup now.
I'm not. I'm not concerned about the San Francisco Giants one bit. I
Okay.
give it 80-20 Mets.
Wow. And here's your wild card that you mentioned on Facebook this week. And I know they don't stack up yet, but it's fun to even try now. How about Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh is going to be a surprise sleeper team, Pete.
Yeah, they
Without a
are.
doubt, they've got a great pitching rotation, and they picked up some really qualitative bats um, to add to that lineup. I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. However, I give them at 70-30.
Okay. And you look at other teams that have possible lineups. Cincinnati adds Suarez, so they're kind of deep with Suarez and a couple of those
And
guys. What do you think?
the shortstop, right?
Yeah, Dela Cruz.
Right.
That's a pretty deep lineup too. Cincinnati, Baltimore, Milwaukee. All those teams still have pretty decent lineups. But I still see the Mets as the number. The way we're looking at it right now, I have the Mets as the number one lineup. Don't you?
I agree, and that's why I put them number one in the power rankings, without a doubt.
Okay. But now we won't go over all the Dodgers pitching, but we both know they are stacked with pitching. Do they have more pitching? We have the hitting advantage. Do they have the pitching advantage, or we have both advantages
With who? The Pirates?
with the Dodgers?
Oh, with the
Who has
Dodgers.
better pitching, us or the Dodgers? Who has better pitching?
Us, 100% us.
Wow. So you don't think the Dodgers
80-20,
even win 100
80-20,
games this year?
80. I think the Dodgers. I put the Dodgers 87-91.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. That's a
And
bold statement right
and
there.
you know why, Pete? You know why? Because Edwin Diaz is going to spit the bit.
Hmm.
He's going to spit the
I thought
bit.
you were going to say. I thought you were going to say these guys are starting to age. Maybe we might see some injuries, or like you said, Betts, Freeman. They might be starting to slow down.
100%. They're relying on these veterans to carry that team, and then the pitchers are going to face that much more pressure. Um,
Yeah.
having to put the ball over the plate. Freeman's lost
Yeah.
a step. Betts lost a step.
They're
So,
also their bullpen's weak too. Tanner Scott won't be back till late because of the Tommy John. Even though they have Diaz, there's not a lot in front of him.
and let's not forget, Otani was not a great pitcher last year.
Yeah, and neither was Suzuki either. The rookie had a struggle all year too.
Yamamoto showed what they paid for. So you got Yamamoto's their star pitcher,
Yeah,
but
he's
after
definitely their
that,
star.
you're in a lot of troubles.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's move on. I want to do a really good topic with you now, a different topic. I want you to name for me your all-time New York Metropolitans team. Who is your all-time at each position? Who's your all-time Mets team?
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
And
Well,
this is gonna tug at my heart.
I
So
know it's not easy. It's very, very hard. Okay,
right,
so starting with first base, who do you got?
it's nobody other than Keith.
That is correct. That's who I got. Keith Hernandez. There's nobody else even close, is there?
No, nobody close.
No. Well, Carlos Delgado was close.
Carlos was a better offensive player. Keith was the ultimate all-around player.
Yeah, I think I might have Delgado on my bench. Remember, he started as a third baseman, so young Carlos Delgado would be a pretty good bench player. All right, second base, who have you got?
Wally Backman.
Wow, you're taking Wally Backman?
Who'd
Really
you
over
who'd
uh,
you take?
Eduardo Alfonso?
I forgot about Edgardo for a minute, but Wally Backman, 86 Mets. Sorry.
Okay, all right,
He
he's
was
taking
gritty, man.
Backman.
He was gritty. He was spark. He was fire and brimstone.
Yeah, but Alonso had better numbers when at the
You're right.
plate, anyways.
That's why I said I'm talking with my heart a little bit here.
Yeah, I hear you. All right,
I
shortstop.
could I could yield to Edgar Alfonso. I could yield.
And I will definitely take consideration that Backman deserves. I mean, he not only was gritty, but he was a great number two hitter. He knew how to use his bat. He was a great situational hitter, and we missed that in this game. So we would have loved to have that. You know. All right. So shortstop, who have you got?
His name is escaping me. It's not Jose Reyes. Who's the other kid? Help me out, Pete.
Well, who are you looking for? I'm picking Francisco Lindor.
Huh. I'm not.
Okay, so you're not. So you're taking who are you taking? Buddy Harrelson,
No, what was his name? Spanish kid.
Ray Ordonez.
Ray Ordonez. Yes.
Okay. You're taking Ordonez. Okay,
Yes.
he was all glove, no stick.
Understood.
Over Lindor?
Do you know Lindor? He's lost 2 steps at shortstop, Pete. And if not for Pete Alonso's scoop rate last year, Lindor would have had an 89 fielding percentage as a shortstop, bro.
But he's going to get you 30-30 at the plate again this year.
I'm looking at the overall package.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll give it to you. All right. So Ray Ordonez is your shortstop. All right. Third base.
I'm going to go with, you know what? I'm going to go with a slash. I'm going to go Robin Ventura / Ray Knight.
Did you forget about somebody?
You know how I feel about David Wright.
I know, but come on.
That guy was not clutch, Pete.
All right. So you're going with who again now?
He was the poster child for good citizenship. He got the good citizenship badge, Pete, and Boy Scout.
Oh, that's just wrong, man. That's just wrong.
He hit the 2-run bomb when we were losing 14-0 or winning 14-0, Pete. If we needed a fly ball to right field, he was incapable of producing that.
All right. So you said Ventura and who? Who was your other half?
Ray Knight. Ray Knight.
Okay.
Ray Knight was that spark plug. He came to the ballpark wanting to beat the crap out of everybody, Pete.
And he had that beautiful right center field swing that he could pull off almost any time he wanted to. He could take that ball to right center with power into the gap whenever he wanted
Harold
to.
Atkins reminds us of Hojo. Now,
Hojo was another good choice.
Yeah, excellent choice, Harold. Thanks for contributing. However, once Hojo found religion, and no shot at you, Pete. Hojo lost the fire, and once they learned he couldn't hit the curveball, he was done.
I couldn't hit a curveball after I learned to love Jesus too. I had a hard time afterwards. I'm just being honest with you. This is something about the whole communion thing. You just have a hard time with the curveball afterwards. Remember that Major League? You think Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball? All right. So that's our infield. All right. Now for the outfield, I'm going to allow you to do, we'll do right center. But if you want to use Soto and left, if that's how you want to do it, that's how I did it. So I'll allow that. So I have my 3 outfielders. Who do you have for the Mets? All-time Mets team.
right field, it's my buddy Dallas Strawberry.
Yep. That's right. Yep, that's what I got.
Center field, you're gonna laugh at me,
Okay.
and, and only because. So in New York State, if you take the Regents exam in high school, and they catch you cheating on one Regents exam, you fail all the other Regent exams, even though they didn't catch you. Okay.
Right.
So that automatically, in my book, eliminates Carlos Beltran because you don't know how long that guy was cheating.
Okay.
I put Bernard Gilkey.
Bernard Gilkey
He had tremendous seasons for the New York Mets.
for all-time center fielder.
Yep.
All right. I had Beltran.
Right. As you should. Okay. As you should.
But you could also make a case for Tommy Agee, maybe. You know, or Dykstra.
No, 0 on Dykstra.
No. But Tommy Agee, maybe. I don't know. I had Beltran.
Sure. Okay.
All right. And who you got in left?
All right. You have to default to Soto because he's a generational player. So I'm told, right? I'm still the book is still out for me on him because the first half of last year he looked like Mr. Bean. Okay, because and seriously, and the fact, Pete, if you look at last year, if you dissect it into halves, we were 10, 15 games in first place when Soto was batting 210.
Yep.
With 12 home runs.
Yep.
And then when he kicked it into gears, when we collapsed.
You're right. It's interesting how that correlated last year.
Right.
Very interesting.
So, but in left field, if it's not going to be Soto, I have to give it to Cleon Jones, man.
That's why. Yeah, I had Soto first, Cleon Jones second for sure. And how about DH?
Le Grand Orange.
Oh,
First,
over
second,
Pete Alonso.
First, second, and third.
Okay.
That guy, Le Grand Orange. You couldn't get that guy out if you poisoned him.
Wow. Okay, I had Pete Alonso myself.
Okay, fair.
Okay, but no, Staub would be the ultimate pinch hitter off the bench. You know, that's how I would have seen Staub. But I agree with you. He definitely was a hell of a left-handed hitter and could do no wrong there for a few years. Who's your catcher?
Oh boy, and we haven't had many, but he broke the catcher home run record before Piazza did. You got to give it to Piazza.
Okay, so you have Piazza.
But Todd Hundley's second.
Well, what about Gary Carter?
Third.
Okay, so all right, I had Piazza also. All right, we only. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, you can't dismiss Piazza at catcher. He was prototypical power hitting catcher, perhaps all time.
Clutch hitter,
and 300 hitter.
Yeah, clutch 300 hitter.
Right.
All right, we only have 2 minutes left, and we've done the whole hour. So if you want to do the prayers,
that'd be great.
We'll
do
we're at 9:28 right now. So we finished the old-time Mets team right there. So let's just go right to prayers.
I just want to give a shout out to Pete O'Shea for pushing me to extend this to an hour. His questions and his prep is extraordinary, so I appreciate you, Pete. Thank you very much.
Oh, dude, it's so great to work with you because you really know your stuff and you're fun, and we bounce back and forth off each other, and it was great. Last couple weeks has been a lot of fun.
And I'm a little jaded when it comes to the Mets history. I have it's my heart that speaks more than my brain.
Well, it's a very subjective question. You ask everybody, they're going to give you different answers based on who their favorites were, too. You know,
Correct.
I mean, there are guys we left out, we didn't mention at all. So, you know, everybody has their favorites, you know.
I hear you. All right. This week's prayer circle. Harold Sanderson, we're praying for Dawn Squared. Praying for Doug and Allison. Allison's surgery was very successful. They're having a consult with the doctor for next steps. Carol and Bob. Scott Tobias, we're praying for your wife, mom, and Scott reached out and asked us to include his son Anthony, who's going through some challenging times.
We
Terry,
got your back, Anthony.
Sanchez, we're praying for your mother-in-law who you were gracious enough to move down south to Florida, and we're praying for your mom's legs. Antoinette Brooks, we're praying for your brother Mike, who's still in search of a kidney. Linda Stein, we're praying for your dad and yourself, young lady. Linda Stein is going to be doing some rehauling on her life, so let's pray hard for Linda. Kevin Elliott, we're praying for your health challenges. The Krause family, Aubrey, their daughter, as she remains in remission. Deb and Lee, we're praying for you guys down in Maryland, and you guys got to give me Pete Alonso daily updates. We're praying for Lee's health issues. Marianne Bello, my high school classmate from Oceanside, we're praying for your mom. Larry Levy, your wife also, Frida, remaining in remission. Mr. McGowan, sir, we got your 6. Mr. McGowan received another visit from a colleague from Adelphi today. It was very nice of her to go visit him. Ralph, we're praying for your health and some personal hiccups that you're experiencing right now. Pete and Shani, O'Shea, the move, the career change, moving on up, as they say in the neighborhood. Big John, we're praying for your friend Irene. Joe Echevarria, we're praying for your condition, your heart condition. West Coast Dave Prince, you need to make an appearance, my friend. We're praying for your blood work. Johnny Barbecue, praying that your sciatica surgery remains successful and we see you more often than not. John W., we're praying for Elizabeth. Johnny V., we're praying for your father-in-law. We're praying for Eric Floyd's mom, Janet, who's in the hospital currently with pneumonia. Mark Brooks, stay vertical, my friend. And we're praying for Anaya's uncle who is paralyzed, but recovering and moving forward. My sister-in-law, Kelly, with her upcoming surgery. We're praying for Tom, his friend Pat. We're praying for my son, Angie, as he continues to move forward with a possible promotion at Starbucks. Pete, I turn it over to you.
We have 2 precious new ones in our family, 5-month-old Luca and 5-week-old Lachlan. And I want to pray for both of them because they've both been having a little bit of challenges. So we want to pray for them and for their parents.
And for you and for their grandparents too, because
yes,
that hit us hard, my friend.
Yes. Luca was in the hospital for a couple of days, but he's home now. So we're praying for a speedy recovery for him.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Pete, this has been refreshing. This is great. I actually didn't raise my blood pressure during this episode, so that's a positive.
And you didn't even see the time go flying by.
No, not at all. So Eric Floyd again.
Oh, no problem.
What a gift, these cards. I'm going to go home and show Danny the players of yesteryear, especially Dave Kingman, John Matlack, Jerry Kuzman. I appreciate that. And there were a couple Tom Seaver cards in there, Eric. So that's no gift unnoticed. So I appreciate you greatly.
Very nice.
It's been Angie's Angles with my co-host Pete O'Shea coming to you live from Smoke Therapy 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue. If you're ever up here, stop in, buy your cigar. Good night. God bless.
Good night, everybody.
Love you. Thanks, Pete.
Sure, buddy. That was awesome.